Hello everyone, my name is Amit Saugule and today I'm going to talk about threat hunting. What is threat hunting? Threat hunting is a practice of proactively searching for a cybersecurity threat that are lurking undetected in a network. Cyber threat hunting digs deep to find malicious actors in your environment that have slipped past your initial endpoint security defenses. After sneaking in, an attacker can stealthily remain in the network for months as they quietly collect the data. Look for confidential material to obtain login credentials that will allow them to move laterally across the environment. Once an adversary is successful in evading detection and an attack has penetrated an organization's defenses, many organizations lack the advanced detection capabilities needed to stop the advanced persistent threats from remaining in the network. That's why threat hunting is an essential component of any defense strategy. What are the threat hunting methodologies? Hypothesis driven investigation. Hypothesis driven investigations are often triggered by a new threat that's been identified through a large pool of crowdsourced attack data, giving insights into attackers' latest tactics, techniques, and procedures, which is also called as TTP. Once a new TTP has been identified, threat hunters will then look to discover if the attacker's specific behaviors are found in their own environment. The second one is investigation based on known indicators of compromise or indicators of attack. This approach to the threat hunting involves leveraging tactical threat intelligence to catalog known IOCs and IOAs associated with these new threats. These then become triggers that threat hunters use to uncover potential hidden attacks or ongoing malicious activity. The third one is advanced tactics and machine learning investigation. The third approach combines powerful data analysis and machine learning to sift through a massive amount of information in order to detect irregularities that may suggest potential malicious activities. These anomalies become hunting leads that are investigated by skilled analysts to identify stealthy attacks. All three approaches are human powered effort that combines threat intelligence resources with advanced security technology to proactively protect an organization's system and information. Moving on to threat hunting steps. So the step one is the trigger. A trigger points threat hunters to a specific system or area of the network for further investigation when advanced detection tools identify unusual actions that may indicate malicious activity. Often, a hypothesis about a threat can be triggered for proactive hunting. For example, security team may search for advanced threats that use tools like fileless malware to evade existing defenses. The second one is investigation. During the investigation phase, the threat hunter uses technology such as EDR, endpoint detection and response, to take a deep dive into the potential malicious compromise of a system. This continues until either the activity is deemed benign or a complete picture of the malicious behavior has been created. The step 3 involves resolution. The resolution phase involves communicating relevant malicious activity intelligence to operations and security teams so that they can respond to the incident and mitigate the threats. The data gathered about malicious and benign activity can be fed into the automated technology to improve its effectiveness without further human intervention. Throughout this process, cyber threat hunters gathers as much as possible information about an attacker's action, methods, and goals. They also analyze collected data to determine trends in an organization's security environment, eliminate current vulnerabilities, and make predictions to enhance security in the future. Moving on to what are the important factors in threat hunting. The first factor is human capital. Every new generation of security technology is able to detect a great number of advanced threats, but the most effective detection engine is still human brain. Automated detection techniques are inherently predictable, and today's attackers are very aware of this and develop techniques to bypass, evade, or hide from the automated security tools. Human threat hunters are absolutely critical component in an effective threat hunting service. Second one is a wealth of data. The service must also have the ability to gather, store granular system events data in order to provide absolute visibility into all endpoints and network assets. With the use of scalable cloud infrastructure, a good security service then aggregates and performs real-time analysis on these large datasets. The third one is threat intelligence. A threat hunting solution should be able to cross-reference internal organizational data with the latest threat intelligence about external threats and deploy sophisticated tools to effectively analyze and correlate malicious actions. All of this takes time, resources, and dedication, and most organizations are not adequately staffed and equipped to mount a continuous 24/7 threat hunting operation. Fortunately, there are managed security solutions that have the right resources, the necessary people, data analytic tools to effectively hunt for unusual network activity and hidden threats. So, what is the difference between threat hunting and threat intelligence? Threat intelligence is the data set about attempted or successful intrusions, usually collected and analyzed by automated security systems with machine learning and AI. Threat hunting uses this intelligence to carry out a thorough system-wide search for bad actors. In other words, threat hunting begins where threat intelligence ends. Even more, a successful threat hunt can identify threats that have not yet been spotted in the wild. Lastly, moving on to the threat hunting tools. First one is CyberChef. A SOC analyst job can be sometimes very overwhelming. CyberChef is a simple intuitive web app for carrying out all manner of cyber operations within a browser. CyberChef can be used to encode, decode, format data, parse data, encrypt, decrypt, compress data, extract data, and numerous functions. Second, DNS Twist. DNS Twist is a domain name permutation engine for detecting typo squatting, phishing, and corporate espionage. DNS Twist takes in your domain name as a seed, generates a list of potential phishing domains, and then checks to see if they are registered. Third one is PulseDive. PulseDive is free threat intelligence platform. It is used to search, scan, enrich IPs, URLs, domains, and other IOCs from OSINT feed or submit your own. Lastly, we have Autoruns. Autoruns is a valuable addition to any Greek software toolkit. It allows you to track and control all programs that start automatically with Windows or with Internet Explorer. Let's move on to the demonstration of these tools. So the first tool that we are going to demonstrate today is CyberChef. So I'll go to Chrome. In Google search, simply type CyberChef. Just go to the GitHub link and you'll find the online tool for CyberChef, and there is also a downloadable version present over here. I'll show you a simple practical demonstration. So hello world. So here are few operations. Here is the recipe window. Here's the input and output window. So what I'll do is first I'll try to convert to base 64. So just type in base 64. Okay. So base 64 to base 64. I'll just copy here. Okay. Now it has changed to base 64. Now to follow double encoding, I'll just put in 2 hex. So as you can see, we have this output present over here. So I'll just copy this and paste it over here and remove this conversions. Now we'll do a reverse decoding. So how we'll do that? Similar to 2 hex, we have from hex. So just copy from hex and then copy base 64. Okay. We got our hello world back. Now this was a simple test that I showed. Like I said, in SOC, analyst has too much of overwhelming job. So writing small code for small tasks is very difficult. So there's when CyberChef comes in handy. So let me delete this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one double encoding problem that most of us will come across, and as also been mentioned on the OS website. So just paste it over here. And you can see like there are some special characters over here. So the // characters represent %2e, %2e, %2f in hexadecimal representation. When the percentage symbol is encoded again, its representation in XML code is %25. The result from a double encoding process is what we have over here. So how to decode this? The first simple magical option is magic. Just add it over here. Okay, and you will be able to see that it is by itself trying to do all sorts of permutation to give you the result. So we have got the dot dot slash over here. So let me delete this. And before deleting this, you can also notice that there is URL decode, so 2 times decode, and these are the functions which are also present over here. So let me show you that. URL decode. See, we got the answer. Similarly, let me show you another text. So if you keep the auto bake on, it will automatically give output for the any input you paste and apply the recipe over it. Let's move on and have a look at few emails. Try to find anything malicious in that email. So I've gone to Gmail. I'll go to spam folder. Open this Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Okay, so I'll open this email. Click on show original. Let's make an assumption that this is a malicious email which is threat to our organization, and let's try to analyze it. So I'll do copy to clipboard. Go to CyberChef again. Paste it all over here. So what is the first thing that we want to see? Like, is there any unknown or malicious email that we are, or a spammer email that we are able to find? So there is a simple option called extract email addresses. Add it over here. Okay, so now there are too many of it. So to solve this, we can have unique function. Okay, so these are the unique addresses. So the first one is mine, then Aditya Birla capital. Okay, so all of these look proper to us. Now what we'll do is we'll try to extract all the IPs that are present, like if there is any redirection or malicious IPs present over here. Okay, and similarly add unique. Okay, so these are the IP address that we are able to find. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this IP address. I'll go to DNSlytics. Paste the IP address, search. Okay, so the network information, we can see mutual funds, Aditya Birla Capital org. You can also see that the spam database lookup shows like this isn't a spam, or block list lookup show this, like whether this is a spyware, botnet, open proxy. We'll get the whois information over here. So the ultimate goal is to find the IP addresses and just have a look at those IP addresses carefully. Now third task I will try to do is check for any additional domains. So I'll remove this, extract domains, and I want unique ones. Okay, so if you go through the domains, nothing malicious so far. And lastly, we will check for the URLs. Delete this. Okay, similarly add unique. Okay, so far the links are looking good to me. So this is how you can use CyberChef, and there are a lot of functions which you can try, but due to less time I cannot show all of them, but I've shown how to use the CyberChef tool to you. So next we'll move on to DNSTwist. Type in DNSTwist, download. So if you see the first link, so you'll get all the information over here how to download it. Since I have installed in Windows, so I have simply used pip install DNSTwist and it works. So just go to command prompt, Okay, we got an output for this. So as you can see, like they have made a few changes and registered, like Amazon O is replaced by E. So let's try to open this. Okay, so it's saying ad block detected, please disable your ad blocker. So let's not disable it. Just type in DNS twist, type --L. So these are all the possible commands that you can use. The next tool that we will be looking at is Pulse Dive. So Pulse Dive is a Chrome extension that I have downloaded. Check for a simple website like Amazon.com. Just click on this extension. So it will show you the information like whether you should proceed with this website, whether it is risky or not. So this one is very low risk since it is famous and we all know how it's functioning. So we will get to see the highlights over here. So redirects to what websites. So who is the registrant? You can check all the ports that it is using. Let's click on open in Pulse Dive. You will see all the informations that we have seen over there in full window. Let's check the cookies. Okay, so you'll get the information about the cookies, then the DNS, then geolocations, name server, redirects, related domains, everything you will get to see from this Pulse Dive. Why do we need Pulse Dive? Suppose you are a SOC analyst and you have set up a firewall where you have denied all the website other than the ones which are very useful or you feel appropriate to your organization, and someone tries to access a different type of website. So you can quickly check like what kind of website that is through this extension. Now let's check another one. So this is a website which people use for downloading pirated movies. So I'll just click over here, home. Let's go inside. Now let's try clicking on this and see what do we get as a result. So the risk is unknown. So definitely we don't want to go inside this kind of website where the registration details are hidden. Definitely it will be hidden because this is a piracy website. Okay. Let's go inside Pulse Dive to try to get the whois information. So nothing related to the website you'll be able to see inside this, like nothing will be related. Like we previously saw for Amazon.com, the registrant will be something Amazon.com or something related to Amazon. Now let's have a look at Aditya Birla website. Okay, so as you can see, this is showing very low risk, SPF record present. So you can definitely use this website. Since you are going to invest your money over here, it's definitely worth to have such extensions enabled. Now let's check the last tool for the day, AutoRun. So what you have to do is go to AutoRuns download, go inside, click on download AutoRuns, and you will get a zip file. You'll get a zip file and just extract it. I'll open 64-bit version. So first thing that we definitely want to look at is services. So you can see that McAfee application installer cleanup is highlighted red because it's not verified, and all sorts of services you will see over here. So you can also right click on check on virus total, then you can click on process explorer. You will get an error if process explorer is not, and then basic search online. So I'll just click on search online. So what is AGSSS service? Is it a virus or malware? which belongs to Adobe Genuine Software Integrity. So this is a no-brainer acceptable service. So let's close this. Search online for this. mcinst.exe is an executable file that is part of McAfee Firewall Protection Service program developed by McAfee. So this is also a acceptable one. So let's leave it over there. All sorts of things are present. So let me show you one interesting demonstration. So I'll go to Codex. So as you can see, there are a lot of red highlighted codecs present over here. So I'll just click. You can either right click and click on check virus total. So you'll see the progress over here. So you can see like 1 out of 73 are suggesting that this is something unwanted. So if you click on that, it will redirect you to VirusTotal website. So one security vendor has flagged this file as malicious. So Win ransomware Tesla Crypt. So what we will do is, let's have a quick search on what this is. So Talos is a threat intelligence website. So if you can go down, you will see that they have information about this ransomware. So Tesla Crypt is a well-known ransomware family that encrypts the user files with strong encryption and demands Bitcoin in exchange for a file decryption service. A flaw in the encryption program was discovered that allowed the files to be decrypted without paying the ransomware, and eventually the malware developers released the master key, allowing all encrypted files to be recovered easily. Okay, so that is why this file being on my system has not affected it yet. Okay, now there is another, like if you want to check all of these, there is another simple way. Just click here, right click, check VirusTotal. Okay, so now we have the results. We are like out of 73 vendors, one of the vendor is showing this as flagged, so we have already checked this one. And here also one of them is shown. So if you double click and check the created date, it is 3rd June 2021. Click this one, and if you check the date, it's 3rd June 2021. So what does this tell me? Like, this tells me that all of these codecs are coming from the same source, and most probably, as far as I remember, I download codecs from a third party website and not from the original website. So this is the reason why the infected files are coming inside my computer. So it is very important to download contents from the original website, genuine web. So that's it with the demonstration of threat hunting tools. Thank you.